Friends, we are very happy to inform you that e-modules are prepared for B.Ed program at Telangana by the School of Education, Osmania University under Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme MHRD New Delhi. It's indeed our pleasure to share with the teacher educators and the prospective teachers and get maximum benefit out of it. It's a first of its attempt by us. We continue to add many more such lessons to share with you all.
Good morning everybody, my name is Dr. Srivalli. Today we'll be discussing about heuristic method of teaching mathematics. Now let's begin with the objectives of this method. At the end of this presentation you will be able to understand heuristic method in teaching of mathematics, explain the principles of heuristic method. You will be able to apply heuristic method in your classroom. You will be able to state the merits and limitations of using heuristic method. You will also be able to explain what is the role that a teacher has to play in this heuristic method. Now, before we begin with this method, we need to understand what exactly do we mean by heuristic. Now, let's begin with the meaning of heuristic. What exactly we mean by the word heuristic? It is originating from the Greek word eurisko, meaning to find, search or discover. A heuristic method is an approach to finding a solution to the problem that originates from the ancient Greek word eurisko, which is nothing but to discover. It is about a practical method that doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. Heuristic methods speed up the process of reaching a satisfactory solution. Previous experiences with the comparable problems are used that can concern problem situations for people, machines and abstract issues. One of the founders of heuristics is a Hungarian mathematician, George Polya, who published a book about the subject in 1945 called How to Solve It. He used 4 principles that form the basis for problem solving. Now, we'll see what are those 4 principles that are being suggested by George Polya in his book, How to Solve It. The first one is try to understand the problem, then make a plan, carry out the plan, evaluate and adapt. So these are the 4 principles that are being given by the Polya. Now we'll see this how they are being done through a video on Singapore Maths Method. Act it out and after that we'll proceed.
Nicole and her 3 dogs want to cross over a river. She can cross over the river with 1 or 2 dogs at any one time. Whenever Nicole is not around, her dogs will fight with one another. Show how Nicole and her dogs can get to the other side of the river. There are many ways you can answer this question. Label the 3 dogs as Alpha, Bravo and Charlie. Nicole will cross the river with dog Alpha and Charlie. After they have crossed over, bring back dog Alpha across the river. Finally she can cross the river with dog Alpha and Bravo. Janet has 3 sticks of different lengths, 9 centimeters, 13 centimeters, and 20 centimeters. She wants to cut a 3 centimeters piece of cloth. Show how she can use the 3 sticks to get the required length of the cloth. Cut off 7 centimeters cloth from a 20 centimeters cloth using the 13 centimeters stick to measure. Cut out a new 13 centimeters cloth to measure. Cut out a 4 centimeters cloth from the 13 centimeters cloth using the 9 centimeters stick to measure. Finally, cut out the 3 centimeters cloth from the 7 centimeters cloth using the 4 centimeters cloth to measure. The figures show 5 squares using 16 sticks. Rearrange 3 sticks to get 4 squares.
Now that you have seen the video, you must be able to understand how we can apply these things, apply this heuristic method. Some of the common methods that are labeled as project method, problem solving method, activity method, all these fall under the category of discovery method, which is a heuristic method. Now let's begin with the merits of this method. We understand that this method is all about discovery. It helps in developing scientific and discovery attitude in the students. It discourages memorization and rote learning as the students discover rules by laws involved of their own. Because they are trying to discover, they are not memorizing anything over here, and it is not anything about rote learning. They are trying to discover by themselves in the process of learning. It arouses the spirit of inquiry in the students. It facilitates more meaningful learning as the students actively participate in the learning process. Because they are trying to discover, it is an inquiry into finding out things. So it is helping them to bring up the spirit of inquiry. At the same time, it is more meaningful because the students are actively engaged and they are learning in the process. Now, there are some more merits. It develops a habit of hard work among the students by keeping them busy to find out the required solution. They are putting their hard work to learn and they are actively engaged. So they are busy in finding the solution to the problem. It lays stress on the individual practical work, careful observation, independent thinking, which makes the student self-reliant. So the student is getting self-confidence because they are practically working on it through lots of observation being done, and it is not that they are, after observing, they are not sitting simply. They are working towards it, so their thinking is also developing in the process. It gives understanding of concepts and facts. It is a psychologically sound method of learning as it is based on the principles of learning by doing. Now that we have learnt about the different merits, there are also some constraints in using this method. Now let's see the limitations of this method. This method is feasible only with a highly resourceful teacher, because in the process of discovery, when they are doing, the teacher needs to be able to use this method perfectly. So this method has a limitation where the method is only feasible with a highly resourceful teacher, a teacher who can take the complete responsibility in making them do this task. It is a lengthy, time-consuming method, and hence it is difficult to cover in the prescribed syllabus time. So within the time frame that is being given to the teacher, number of periods in a week or something like that, the teacher should be able to finish the task of this discovery. And discovery is not something which is simply you are going and trying to get it. It is a process, and it takes a little longer time for them to think and come out with the ideas and finally discover the method. In this method, the stress is more on the skills on acquisition of knowledge. This could lead to imbalance in learning as knowledge is of secondary consideration. Here, it is more on skills, because the child is trying to acquire a lot of skills, but the knowledge that the child is getting is very less in compared to the skills that the child is acquiring. So, knowledge becomes a secondary aspect in this method. Not all students can cope up with this type of learning. All the children cannot do this heuristic method. They need to have an extra edge in doing this method. So children who are above average or maybe average, but students below average find it little difficult in doing this discovery. So it is not suitable for all kind of students, and not all students will be able to use this method. We cannot expect all the students to become discoverers and inventors. Sometimes wrong generalizations may be arrived, and thus a lot of time and energy may be wasted. Sometimes when we are not able to arrive at the required result, then in the process we may diversify and look into different aspects. In this process, a lot of time and energy is wasted from the student side as well as from the teacher side. Now here, what exactly is the role a teacher needs to play? A teacher is again a planner, organizer and an evaluator. Teacher needs to plan each and every activity meticulously, organize them in an order, involve the children, and then once this process is completed, the teacher also needs to look into every detail and evaluate from all different angles. The teacher should be a facilitator. She has to be looking at every child, how they are working on it, and help them in the process of discovery. The teacher also needs to be a decision maker, a knowledge imparter, and a disciplinarian. So this is a role a teacher needs to play actively in the process of discovery and help the child to find out the discovery that they are supposed to do. Now let's wrap up this session. What exactly have we learned in this presentation? We have learned that we can use this heuristic method of teaching mathematics. We have also learned about the principles given by Polio, the 4 principles given by Polio, and the applications of heuristic method we have seen through a video, and how exactly we can take it into our classrooms. Then merits of the heuristic method and limitations of the heuristic method, and what is the role a teacher has to play in this heuristic method. We will be seeing some more methods in the coming classes. Thank you one and all.